Yo, what's up? We're back with another episode of the No Money Spent. So for today, it's mainly going to be about collections and kind of where we're at. We did complete, or we're going to complete a few more collections in this episode. And then we're going to talk about the Flashback and Legends collection that I believe is dropping Friday. And I'm pretty sure that also is going to be a new legend for that collection. So we'll talk about how you should be prepared for that, or where you guys should be at right now. As far as content goes, we didn't complete anything. You know, there's actually nothing for us to complete because we're up to date with everything except like ranked seasons. But offline content, we're all done. And then we will have a few packs to open up, which are basically just the free packs that drop. So if you go to the market, there's these spring community challenge packs. There's 3 of them that you can get. They're all free. We picked those up, you know, why not? So we'll open these up really quick. Also, what else was there? There was a flash sale yesterday, and we're gonna talk a lot about that because we did get involved in that. That's why our stub count is a little bit lower than what it was. We started at like 514,000 stubs when that flash sale happened, but we picked up a lot of stuff. We actually put like all 500k we had into cards during that flash sale, and I thought we got something good. Yeah, we made some quick investments, flips, stuff like that. So I'll talk about the flash sale and what you guys should expect, I guess, for future flash sales, because now it's over with. You can't really do nothing about it now. Well, let's see if we get anything in these 4 show packs. It would be kind of crazy to pack a diamond in these, but yeah, our packs have been so bad lately that we really don't expect it. But hopefully in that egg hunt pack, we get something good. You know, we're looking for a solid diamond in that one. So nothing in there. These cards, they definitely dropped a lot, I would say, in price, to the point where we probably should work on completing these collections or trying to just pick up some of these cards. But hopefully we just get a card we don't have. Last time we had 2 of these and we got the same player, so I just want someone good. You know, we get a catcher. Who's the catcher? I don't even... Joe Torre, right? Torre's okay, but he's also an 85 overall. So he's pretty cheap, but I would say, like, as far as the card goes itself, he's not bad because he has good contact numbers, but it's nothing really exciting, you know? So we'll just take the card, but we're not really going to be able to do anything with this card, you know, except hold it for collections. So next thing is, I guess we got to start with the flash sale and just what we did for the market before we kind of get into collections. But like I said, yesterday there was a flash sale. So if you guys are unaware with how flash sales work, and again, this is what you guys should, you know, just use for future reference. But flash sales are a very good opportunity to make stubs. So yesterday's flash sale, they dropped 2 packs. They were a 85 plus live series card, and then a chase pack, which gave you a chance at Randy Johnson, but also live series cards. So rule of thumb, you don't buy the packs, you know, you just let everyone else buy the packs, and then you go into the market and buy the players in those packs, because they're going to drop down in price, because everyone that's buying the packs, they just sell it off right away. So your job is to scoop up those players at a cheaper cost, and then wait a couple hours, wait till the flash sale's over, and then sell that card for profit. So we were able to do that for a few cards. Like I said, we had like 514k, spent all 514k. We ended up keeping a few cards. That's why we're going to complete some collections today, but we got a lot of stuff. So just for example, like yesterday, it was live series cards. So pretty much 85 to 87 was what you were going after, and they messed up, which our profits probably would have been better, and I just didn't feel like waiting any longer anyways. But because they messed up, they gave everyone that bought the pack more live series cards. So the prices started to go back up, and then they gave everyone free cards again, and they dropped back down, and they didn't reach the levels that they probably could have reached if they didn't mess up. But either way, you know, we still got some good cards. We made some profit, and we also will complete collections out of that. So I'll just show you guys my history. That's the best way to do it. These are... Let's see, right here. These are sells, these are buys. So this is where we started getting into buying some of the cards. Again, we bought a lot of different ones, but we picked up a few Gunnar Henderson cards. We got Corey Seager, Kyle Tucker, Paul Skeens. Those were the players that I felt like were the best ones. And again, the profits probably could have been better, but since they messed up, you know, the prices at a point were higher and then they dipped down again. But either way, we still made some profits. We got a few Acuna's, Paul Skeens, Kyle Tuckers. Randy Johnson was a big one that we got, and we sold it off. So again, you know, you got to keep in mind what's in those packs and then attack those packs, get the players in those packs, and then later sell them off. But that's kind of how you approach the flash sales for the future. We got like I said, we got a few Acuna, School Bulls, sales, stuff like that. And then today we ended up selling some of the cards that we ended up buying. So for example, Kyle Tucker, we sold them at 32K. What did we end up buying them at? 23. So it's like an 8K profit, but we also were keeping one of him. Randy Johnson, we bought at 103, sold them at 134. So it might be like a 20K profit after taxes. Bryce Harper, we bought around, let's see, where was Bryce Harper? 35K for Bryce. Yeah, around 35K for Bryce Harper. Sold him at 48K. So that's just how it works. You know, you guys can see right here that we were able to make, you know, at least like 5 to 8K, maybe 10K from certain players. And, you know, we made some stubs. Our stub count is lower than what we started off with, but that's because we ended up keeping like 7 other cards that we bought, which saved us stubs buying it during the flash sale. So it would have been nice if like these higher overalls, like the 88 pluses also went down. They did a little bit, but they're still pretty high in price to the point where it's probably going to be a while until we can get some of these. But we will wait until they continue to drop a little bit, and then we'll go after them. You know, we're at 400K right now, which we're kind of fine there. And this is also another reason why you should try to save stubs also. You know, just because we have stubs doesn't mean we have to spend them. Like, I could easily get Aaron Judge right now, which is a player I've wanted for a while. But sitting on stubs for a little bit is never a bad idea because, for example, the flash sales, you can take advantage of them and make extra stubs, which is what we did. Now, going on to collections, you know, like I said, we did complete a few of these. Actually, I think we completed our first division too, but starting off with the Orioles, we got Gunnar Henderson, which helped us. Damn, his price going up a little bit more. See, we probably could have made more off of him too. But yeah, we picked up Gunnar Henderson, and that's gonna get us Brooks Robinson. So, you know, another card added. For the Tigers, we picked up Scooble, and that's going to get us 87 Gary Sheffield, which, again, these cards aren't really going to help us out, but we will need them for collections. Next team that we did was the Rangers. We got Corey Seager, going to get us an 86 Michael Young card, which actually, he might be one of the only ones that is usable. 114 clutch, great contact numbers. We could actually use that card if we needed to. For an 86 overall, this one is actually pretty solid, you know, for a shortstop. I wish he could play second too. That kind of would have been nice. Doesn't he normally play second? Or was he always short? No, his card literally says second base. How does your card say second base, but you don't have a second base secondary? Either way, next team we completed, the Braves. We picked up Chris Sale and Acuna. So that's going to give us David Justice. All right looking card, good against lefties, got good power numbers also. And then going on to the next team, we got the Phillies. So we got Bryce Harper and Zach Wheeler. Both of them are also right now supercharged, which, I mean, their price could stay up a little bit higher too. But we get Ryan Howard, really good against the righties. And then the next team we have is the Cubs. We picked up Kyle Tucker. That's going to give us an 86 Greg Maddux card, which normally he's not bad, you know, kind of a junk pitcher, as I like to say. His per nines are all right. Then next team we have is the Pirates. We picked up Paul Skeens. So Skeens, actually, we might even be able to use him. He might be a solid starting pitcher to have. And Mazeroski is who we end up getting. Okay looking card, nothing crazy, but Pirates are done. And then do we have any other teams? We do not. I think that's all of them. So remaining teams we have now are the pretty much the big cards, the 88 pluses. But we got the Yankees remaining, the Guardians. We got the Royals, the Angels, the Mets, the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and the Dodgers. So pretty much every team that has like a big 88. I think we completed the Central. Yes, we did. So that's gonna give us our first Division Series award, which is Ted Simmons, switch hitting catcher. Can also play left field, has 90 contact versus righties, 99 versus lefties. Power numbers are okay. 107 clutch, which is really nice. Silver tier defense, 60 speed. Kind of reminds me of Jason Varitek. I got to see who's actually better, but that's who he would replace. You know, he would replace Varitek. And we'll probably use him. You know, why not? We got him. He's a 90 overall. He looks pretty solid. Good contact numbers, good clutch. I think that's the only one we would have. Yeah, we're missing the Mets, which would only be Lindor, because we do have everyone else. So I guess if Lindor's price drops a little bit more, we can scoop him up. You know, maybe if he's like under 50K, if something else happens, I don't know. We'll have to see. We can get this Jordan Zimmerman card. For the West, yeah, West, we need Trout. And then Central, we need Bobby Witt, Jose Ramirez, and then we would need Aaron Judge for the Yankees. And we would finish that one up. So we're making some progress. But that's kind of where we're at right now. I don't really know if I want to focus on one league at a time. Like, it would probably make more sense to do, I guess, since we finished up the NL Central, the National League. But I still think overall the American League is a little bit cheaper. And Roger Clemens, honestly, I think is better than Gil Hodges. So we'll have to figure that part out once we get there. Next thing we got is Legends and Flashbacks. So like I said, you definitely want to be working on these. There's going to be a collection Friday, which I'm assuming is the new Legend. So ways to prep, obviously, is just playing the game, going after all the free cards. If you've done Team Affinity, you got a good amount there. If you've been doing all the programs, you got all those free cards knocked out. And even like mini seasons, Conquest, Showdown, a lot of the cards that you can get that will help you with these are free. And we've done all the offline content so far. There's definitely going to be some collections, I guess we can say, that might be harder than others, and some that we don't have enough cards for. We'll kind of have to see how it plays out on Friday. And also, if the card's not good, we won't really commit to it. You know, it's just something we can commit to if we need to, but it all really depends on what the actual card is. But right now, for Tops Now, we're at a pretty good spot. You know, I feel like we have most of them, and who knows how many you actually need for the collection. Like, we have all the bare minimum collection stuff right now for most of these, but that's not what the actual collection is going to be. Like Tops Now, this one says collect 10. The actual collection voucher for the Flashback and Legend collection could be like collect 20 or 25, you know, something like that. So that's why it's better to have as many of these as possible. And it would be even better if you have extras too, you know, because a lot of people probably will go after certain collections and start buying up, you know, the low end cards if they need them, right? So like cards that you can sell and get duplicates of, you know, if you wanted to invest in them, like Max Muncy right here, I'm sure his price might go up if it's a good collection reward and you need more Tops Nows on Friday. But that's where we're at with Tops Now. Postseason, I feel like we're pretty good at. But it could be like collect 7 of these, so we would have to pick up more. So that's why like a card like Sammy Sosa, you can see him as cheap as like 6,500. That's why he's already at 10K, because people already invested in it and then are already selling it off. So we didn't really do that. It's something we could have done, but we just weren't really focused on that. So that's why like some of these cards that have a low amount of cards in them in the set, their prices could also go up a lot. So maybe that's something we have to do, is pick up like the Sosas, the David Robertson, stuff like that. Second half heroes, doesn't look like we have that many. So this collection could maybe be a problem for us, because a lot of them look like chase cards or headliner cards and stuff like that, even collection cards. So headliners or second half heroes, we don't really have that many. Veteran cards, it looks like we're at a pretty good spot right now. For all stars, we have some, but I don't think this might be enough, you know. So like a card like Jeter already at 10K, it might not be a bad buy, you know, but he was 6.8K. You know, if we invested early, we would have made a good amount of stubs off of that. Gossage was a BR reward. Hank Aaron was I believe a chase card, you know, but he's not really that expensive. This one I believe was a headliner. So a lot of these cards that are like 3 to 5K, you definitely could buy them and work on these collections. All Stars will be a tough collection. I think this collection breakout, we're actually in a pretty decent spot. And actually, Veritex, since we're right here, yeah, that Ted Simmons card probably looks better because he has better clutch. You know, but he has better clutch than he had better contact numbers. I don't think he has better power numbers, but yeah, Ted Simmons might be my new catcher, to be honest. So that's one thing. But as far as like this breakout series card goes, or series goes, you know, we definitely need a few more to finish it up. And a lot of these are collection rewards. This is from Diamond Quest. We actually need to pick up that card. And this one, I don't even know where this Greenberg card came from, to be honest. I think it was like a pre-order card, one of those. So, you know, pretty cheap, but still enough that where I don't know if we might need him, you know. So that's one thing. Rookie series card, we're actually really good with the rookie series. 20th anniversary, this one could be interesting because we might have enough, but we might not, you know, and then we would have to pick up these 4. And honestly, if we have to pick up these cards could very easily shoot up to like 20K. So if you have stubs, it might not be bad to, like I said, overextend and over purchase, because if you have extras and then people are in need of them, you can make a lot of stubs from it. But I don't really know how it's going to play out. Again, it really depends what the card is. Last Rod, I would say we're pretty set. Contributor series, I would say we're pretty set for this and in a good spot. Jolt series, we only needed 15. So this one was, they already told you what you needed, which was kind of nice. And we have it. So we have all 30 of those now. And then for these ones, I'm pretty sure you're going to need the actual players. So DeVries, we got, you're going to have to do some showdowns to get these cards. But we got DeVries out the way. We got Roki out the way. And these are cards that you can pretty much get all for free because they drop so many deluxe cards or deluxe packs where you're going to get a lot of these over time. You know, I wouldn't necessarily go out and purchase these cards, but over time, you should be able to get most of these for free. And some of these are in Conquest too, I believe. But these are the ones that you can kind of take your time on. New threads, you'll probably need Santander. We have that one. And then actually for this one, they also could make it like the second collection reward, like a Chapman. But I feel like they would make it the actual player. Negro Leagues, you know, we need a few here. We need pretty much the big guys. So Dahigo, we need from Ranked Seasons. So again, if we need this card for collections, we'll finish up Ranked Seasons this weekend and just pick him up and hold on to him. But if not, we'll kind of wait and see. Gibson, you know, we'll get from the program pretty soon, the second inning program or XP reward path. And then Satchel Paige we'll get eventually from the multiplayer program, which we probably can get both of these, the Higo and Satchel Paige, at the same time. And if we do that, we'll get Gibson too. So I think by next week at the latest, we'll have Donaldson if we keep these rewards. And then we have DeGrom for the Egg Hunt program or collection. And a lot of these guys, like I said, are pretty cheap to the point where, you know, we probably can scoop them all up right now. If DeGrom's like 50, see, I don't know how much he would be. Right now we're at 10, we need 28. So 18 more cards. I'm trying to think of what the number would be, but I guess if we can get it for like under 80K, it might be worth it. I feel like it's under 80K. Maybe like 50K would end up being something like that. No, it's probably around 80. Probably around 80 to get the Grom. Again, you know, it depends if we really need this or not, but that's kind of what we're looking at. You know, we're always trying to get collections done, and if the legend and flashback card is really good, we will get it done. Not necessarily on Friday when it drops, but within the week of it dropping, we probably should be able to get it. I think we can get some extra packs though really quick. That's pretty much all I have to say about collections. You know, we completed a few more, which was kind of nice. We made some more progress with that. Now with collections, every time you complete something, you can go into Team Affinity and lock that in, you know, so you can get some extra rewards and packs and even progress for Team Affinity. So we might as well. That's going to give us for this one, I think, a ballin pack, maybe some show packs. Not really sure. So we did the Orioles, we did the Tigers. So we'll lock these guys in right here and just get the extra rewards. This is something you always want to be doing too. You know, as I say, whenever you're playing offline stuff, you want to be working on Team Affinity along the way. And that's kind of how we were able to get everything done efficiently, because we're not just playing to play. You know, we're playing to always progress something else. And if there's nothing to progress, we're not playing. You know, it's plain and simple. Phillies is another one that we did. So we get the Howard there, lock him in. I think we had 6 or 7 collections, right? Braves are another one we got. So that will give us these. Get that out the way. Let's see. I don't even know if we're going to get a lot of packs or what, but I know we'll have a few to open up. So Cubs will give us, what are we even getting here? Yeah, ballin and stubs. We're either getting ballin packs, stubs, or some show packs. But, you know, whatever it is, we'll just take it and open them up in this episode, since this is pretty much all we have. You know, our next No Money Spent episode will probably be over the weekend, maybe Friday, but most likely over the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I also know there's a mini season dropping too, so we'll definitely do the mini season this weekend. I think that was it. We did the Pirates, we did the Cubs, we did the Braves, the Phillies. That's 4 teams, 5, 6, 7. Did I get all of the teams I did? I think I did. I think we got all the teams that we did. Either way, we'll look at it another time. Let's see what we ended up getting out of that. Yeah, 12 show packs, 3 ball-ins. We'll open these up really quick. Why not? But yeah, like I said, we have mini seasons this weekend. We'll probably do that for the weekend, and then rank seasons maybe this weekend or sometime throughout the week. See right there, we got a pipeline card. We can hold on to that. We probably don't get a diamond, even though a diamond would be nice, you know, just to kind of finish this episode off nicely. But you never know. You know, some people can pack 5 diamonds in like 25 packs, and then we got like 1 diamond in 300 packs. That's what it seems like for us. But nothing in this one. 4 more of these to go. Let's see if anything good happens. But as we're opening these up, let me know where you guys are at with collections. You know, if you guys feel like you're close to the Legend and Flashback collection also. You know, again, it all really depends who that card is. You know, I think that really affects the desire of trying to get that card or whatnot. So we'll have to see. Ball impact, we get Cody Bellinger. Going on to the next one of these. See if we get a diamond, double golds. And then last ball-in for us. Anything good? No diamond. So that was our packs. We didn't really have any, so didn't really expect much. Hopefully next episode we're able to get a few more packs and open those up. But that's pretty much gonna do it for today. Collections was the main thing, you know, just showing off the progress, where we're at, and we'll keep pushing it. We do have a lot of duplicates to sell too, mainly like silver, bronze, and commons. So I don't know how many stubs that could get us, maybe like 25, 30K at most, if that. You know, that would kind of be nice. We definitely got to go through and sell off all of that stuff, and we'll kind of see where we're at after that. So next episode probably will be on the 26th, because that's when we'll actually have content to complete. So 25th, we have the new mini season, new legend, which we're assuming is the Legend and Flashback collection, and hopefully it's a legend that we want. Hopefully it's a legend that we want to, you know, take the time to finish up the collection for. So weekend, we'll have some content with all the, we'll have an episode with all the content that dropped and what we were able to finish up. But until then, thank you guys for watching. I'm out.